Today we have two guests. It is an honor to have these two guests. We were able to see these two with us grow up from the ages of 6 and 7 all the way to where they are today. We have Hampton's own playing at University of Connecticut, Christian and Kyler Fedko. How are you guys?
What's up, boys?
Nothing much, man. Living the dream here. Quarantined up. Feeling good. The quarantine life. Not much to do.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll get right into it with some questions here. You guys are actually our first collegiate guests, and we want to be able to kind of pick the minds of college players that are going through the world right now and what's going on. But the first question, because I think it's awesome for two brothers growing up as close as you guys are, being able to go and play at the same school together and being able to be teammates through high school, through youth, and now through college and going through that process. So kind of just wanted to pick your guys' mind on if that started at a young age, it was kind of a dream, or did it just kind of come about as you were progressing through high school?
I thought Uconn was the best fit for me, and that's the decision I made. And I don't know if it influenced him a lot, but we never really talked about it growing up. But growing up, we were definitely accustomed to playing with each other a lot. So I think just going to the same school, it just came to it was almost like we didn't have to talk about it. It was kind of a thing like that.
Right.
And I think just the stars aligned really well where we both were looking for similar things within the coaching staff and the player development stuff that Uconn provided. So I think it just lined up perfect where we both got to go to the same place.
Yeah, it wasn't really like a dream. It kind of, like he said, just fell into place. Like he committed, and then I kind of got like the whole rundown, the whole place. Like I was kind of already integrated into the system before I was like already there. Like he committed, then like I was shown the way, the ropes. And
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Do you guys feel like you feed off each other? Because I know when Mick and I played on the same teams growing up and all through even collegiate summer baseball, we were on some same teams. Mm-hmm. And I always, for whatever reason, hit way better if Mick was on my team, and he hit better when I was on his team. It's like we pushed each other on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Certainly, I would say certainly in the field. I mean, if he gets a hit, I mean, it just gives you that much more confidence to go to the plate and like get a hit too. Especially in the weight room for me, seeing what he's throwing up. I mean, I always want to match it or throw something up bigger. So it's kind of like a guy always running behind your back and pushing you to like, be that much better and want to like topple him and whatever we do.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, like seeing him like get a hit, I'm like, all right, now I gotta get a hit. Like,
if I don't get
stuff
a hit,
like that,
and
it just like you said, Ryan, like you just end up just being better because of it.
Yeah, and you have that sense of comfort growing up together. You can push him more than you can push your random second baseman or whoever that you don't know very well, you know. So coming from a small high school, small single-A Pennsylvania Whitfield High School, Vincentian, and now going to a big-time Division I, school playing baseball, was that a tough transition?
What really helped us transition, or really helped me transition to the college level, was the summer circuits in the summer for sure.
Yeah.
Going to a bunch of those perfect game events, going to a bunch of stuff like that, playing against the best kids in the country.
Yep.
So going into the collegiate level, I've already even played against some of the kids that I would face.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big advantage that I had going into my college career.
I know not for him much so, but for me, it was definitely a bigger transition going into just the higher competitive pitching that we saw at Uconn. I mean, last year we had like the CJ Dandino, Jacob Wallace, Mason Fioli, all draft picks, with Fioli and Wallace going top 10 rounds. I mean, we would see those guys every day. I mean, and you really see like what a high D1 pitcher is, and it'll blow your doors off the first few weeks. So that's certainly an adjustment every D1 player's got to make. And luckily for us, we get to go to a school like Uconn where you see that top tier talent every day on the mound.
Going in where right now in today's world, we're all going through the same thing. We're on lockdown. It doesn't matter if you're from Pennsylvania, California, everyone's in that situation. And for you guys being in college, especially in two different ways, because Christian being a junior, you had the eligibility of potentially being drafted this year. And the previous few years in the summer collegiate leagues where you were in a good situation to have that chance of getting drafted. This at Christian first, how is that affecting you? And then for Kyler, for someone who started this year as crazy hot as you did, and how was that mindset for you to kind of where you're at, you're rolling, you're in a great place, and then it just comes to a stop? Kind of where are you guys at physically and mentally in that mindset?
Yeah, I mean, definitely going into this year, I had a lot of expectations and a lot of things kind of riding on the season. Like, I mean, I like going into it like, oh, I've worked my whole life for this. Like, this is it. This is my big year. Like, after this, I'll get drafted and my dreams come true. But then when it all came crashing down, I kind of got the sense of like, why now? Why this? Why me? And then through like just prayer and stuff like that, I really found like a calming feeling of like, well, this has all got to be happening for some reason. There's got to be a silver lining to all this. There's got to be something at the end that's bigger than me that's going on. This is gonna allow me to do something further down the road that's gonna make everything make sense.
Yeah, it's great to take positive things out of it, dude. And sounds like you're doing just that.
Yeah, I know last year, I mean, I got off to a really, really slow start. So that kind of set the table for me this year. I mean, last year I batted about 250, 6 bombs. This year, I wanted to do a lot better. So I kind of use that as kind of like a fire in the off season. Like, wow, like I got to do better. Like if I want to get where I want to go, I mean, like got to have a big year this year, but like, I know I put a lot of pressure on myself there, but this year, sophomore year, is kind of like playing with like house money. So there's like kind of no pressure in the box this year. I was kind of just like doing my thing, having fun, enjoying the boys. And then this whole quarantine thing, like I know I was off to a really hot start and it all came crashing down, but I'm just looking to keep that going to the fall. Even this summer, I hope we play this summer, keep that going. So right now, just like kind of fine tuning everything, staying sharp. And then the quarantine thing actually might help us in the long run. I mean, get a lot of our guys back. We actually lost a few guys this offseason to injury, so we'll get those guys back too. We'll get guys like Christian. We'll get a few of our pitchers back that would have been gone to the draft. So it could even help us in the long run eventually. Like you said, take the positives out of this. There are kind of a lot of positives that aren't in disguise. They're kind of right here in front of us.
So going to kids these days, and you guys are perfect examples, being 6 and 7-year-olds when we met you, maybe even 5 and 6, to be honest.
Probably younger. Probably 4 and 5. Yeah.
There's probably very few days since you were 4 and 5 that you have taken off hitting, throwing, whatever it is, right? What do you got advice-wise for kids starting, not necessarily 5 and 6, but even the 11 and 12-year-olds that are kind of stuck right now, don't know what to do, and want to be, future collegiate, hopefully professional players one day?
It's definitely keep the big picture in mind. I know when you're that young, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's right around the corner, but really in a couple of years, I mean, the first step is getting those looks from the college coaches. And then this time is a perfect opportunity to maybe develop that tool that you're lacking. So I would say advice would be maybe find that weakness or that tool that you don't have and make that one of your best tools in your toolbox.
For kids like me and Kyler, we started playing like very competitively when we were young, like you said. Mm-hmm. And some of my best memories in baseball are when like the 9-year-old nothing but baseball teams or the Beaver Valley teams or stuff like that. And I think at least the coaches we had, they really made that environment fun. They made those games and those tournaments really fun. And I think as long as you can keep that kid mentality when you're 9 through 12, you don't put too much pressure about all that stuff. You make it fun as long as you can. Then you're going to last longer when you're older like us, and it's still fun for us.
For those who don't know, Christian and Kyler's dad is John Fedko, who local celebrity around here, had the Fedko phone zone for a while, and local sports writer, sports television celebrity. And nowadays, it's starting to kind of reverse where growing up, you guys being kids, seeing your dad a celebrity, now he's being able to start to see his 2 boys being Division I athletes where they're getting more on the side of being the local celebrity. So how's that mindset kind of working for you guys, and kind of even potentially your dad's thoughts on that?
Well, I think he for sure loves it. I don't know how much. I mean, I know he was a character on TV, but I don't know how much he liked being in the spotlight all the time. But I think this is what he loves to do. To be honest with you, he loves baseball. He loves traveling to the games. Absolutely. This is more like. It's more like his dream, to be honest with you, 100%. that we're living it up for him. So I think he's probably even more happy than we are that it's happening.
Well, guys, we appreciate you having on. Viewers will be tagging them, their Instagram handles. You guys have Twitter? Are you on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kyler Fedko 4 and CFed
377. Yep. Yeah.